And we have a wonderful woman who's here today. I know Sheryl's floating around, great. Her name is Sheryl Evans Davis, and she's a executive director of San Francisco Human Rights Commission. And Sheryl, prior to joining the Human Rights Commission, was the executive director of Collective Impact, a community-based organization in San Francisco, overseeing several nonprofits addressing challenges facing low-income children, youth, and families in the areas of economic development, community health, and violence prevention, education, and wrapping services to K-12 students and transitional-aged youth. And she also holds a BA from the San Francisco State University and a master's in public administration from the University of San Francisco. So I'd like to put you to put your hands together for this amazing, powerful woman, Sheryl Evans Davis.
Hello, Sacramento. I hope you don't mind, I brought up some of the young people I've been working with over the years. I want them to see this beautiful crowd of people that support women and young women especially, so give it a shout for them. Much like these young ladies, I grew up in the Bay Area. I actually did my first 2 years of college at UC Davis and spent a lot of time here in Sacramento. But I was born in a small town in Texas, and the strongest, most powerful woman I know is my grandmother who raised me in Texas. My fondest memory is of going to church with her. I remember people talking about the fire that was burning within, this something in their belly that was just burning, and it was about this story and the messages that they wanted to share. And we're all here today because we have a story to share, is that right? We have a story that we won't be quiet, is that right? We're going to speak up, is that right? Historically, the church was much more than a church for African Americans. Dating back to slavery, it was this place where people came together to organize, to talk about strategy, to talk about how to deal with discrimination and racism. It was a place where young people learned how to read when they weren't allowed to read. It was where they learned to speak up and to speak out, and to feel their power, to share history, to fan the flame of the fire, to keep it burning so it wouldn't die out. Many years later, my mother would marry a Baptist minister. And I remember him being in front of the congregation, and he would say, "Fired up," and then the congregation would say back to him, "Fired up." And I want to practice a little call and response with you today, because that's what that was called. Call and response. So I say fired up, you say fired up. Fired up? Fired up? So my question, the next one is, I'm going to say for what, and you say human rights. For what? Human rights. For what? Human rights. So let's put it together. I say fired up, you say fired up. I say for what, you say human rights. Fired up? Fired up. For what? Human rights. Fired up? Fired up. For what? I remember rainstorms in that little southern town with my grandmother, and when the rainstorms came, the power would go out and it would be dark. And when you're in the dark, sometimes your eyes adjust to the darkness, and you see things that aren't really there. You see a chair and you think it's a person. I am here today to say we cannot let our eyes adjust to the darkness. When hatred, bias, discrimination, frustration, fatigue, ignorance begin to extinguish our fire, we must come together and ignite the fire and keep the lights on. The light of truth must stay on. We must not be tricked into thinking someone's gender, religion, sexual orientation, sexual preference, their immigration status makes them less than human. We are all still human. Fired up? Fired up? For what? We need to come together. We need to burn stronger and brighter. When I was younger, I would complain about somebody hurting my feelings, and my grandmother would say to me, "Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you." I never really bought that because it did hurt. And I didn't always and sometimes never even got over it. Because I never truly healed from the damage, the hurt, or word wounds. I have discovered, though, both words and sticks and stones can be powerful tools. With both, you can build a shelter, a safe space, bridges connecting people, connecting thoughts, ideas, cultures. They both can hurt and destroy, but we have the power to choose how we want to use our words. Fired up? Fired up? For what? Words help build strength and encourage. There's a Maya Angelou poem I learned when I was younger, and I had to learn for a Black History program that still encourages me today. The poem reminds me that we as women are more than what people see. We are more than our bodies. We are more than our hair. We are more than our skin. No matter what people say about my hair or skin, I am no less a woman. The poem says it starts with, pretty women wonder where my secret lies. See, I'm not cute or built to suit a fashion model size. But when I try to tell them, they think I'm telling lies. Why? Because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. That's me. I don't have to look good for you to think I'm good. The poem goes on to say, did you want to see, now you understand why my head's not bowed, why I walk around proud, because I'm a woman, phenomenal woman. We are phenomenal. There's another poem that she did that helped us even before social media understand the greatness of Black lives that says, and ain't they bad, and ain't they black, and ain't they black, and ain't they bad? Yes, we are. Words can hurt, and we can't forget in our quest for equity, we must remember those who have been wounded or might need protection. Recently, a friend said to me, truth be told, it rains sticks and stones all the time. Words are like a rainstorm of sticks and stones on our hearts and soul. Do you have protection? Who or what is your umbrella? What's your protection for beating off those words that kill off the spirit? We have to protect the flame. We have to shield the vulnerable. We have to stand united and burn bright. We have to support communities of color. We have to support our LGBT brothers and sisters. We have to support those who are in need of help and support. What gives your life purpose? I hope it includes helping someone, shielding them from the rainstorm of words, keeping the light of truth burning, and making sure people's rights are not violated. Who will you speak up for? We must build platforms, systems, and structures that support all people. Are you fired up? Are you fired up? For what? For what? Thank you.